Hello and welcome back to Tom's Tourney 2024. We're in power pools in the women's division currently, and this is a matchup between Deski from Ireland and Ketchup Graz from Austria. I'm Christina Womaya, joined by Hannah Pendlebury. And Hannah, how are you two doing today?
I'm good. We had sunshine this morning. It's gone behind the clouds, but it's fine. It's still very lovely conditions for a game of Ultimate. That little bit chilly, but we are still in the early stages of May. May the 4th be with you, folks.
Ooh. Star Wars reference for everyone who does not know that well, but
Google it and look at GIFs of Baby Yoda. We love it.
Watch that movie. These movies, actually. This is a whole series.
So yeah, we've had some quite great results coming out of Ketchup Graz so far this season, the Austrian team. Of course, Christina, you're going to be, neutral and unbiased as ever.
Of course.
But Deski, of course, a long-time enterer of Tom's Tourney, a mixture of Irish talents, some Pelt players, some Cork-based folks, some Dubliners. It's just a general great vibe. They've got pineapples, they've got pink jerseys. It's great. And watch out for Emily Sexton there. But also, Claire Gilheaney yesterday got about 5 D blocks in a row during an earlier live stream game.
1 point.
Yeah,
5 Ds. That was crazy.
Yep. So Claire Gildini, she's now going to be known as, for the magic that she brings. But some good results. 3 games played for each of these teams. 2 wins, 1 loss for Deski. But of course, as we say, Catch-Up women thus far undefeated in this tournament, beating Jaka, Smog and Bologna's outfit, BFD Shout, who of course are European champions from last season. Have got a bit of a younger roster, more of a development vibe at this Tom's tournament.
Yeah, they're definitely not as strong as they were last year in terms of personnel. This tournament, they have shown something different before, though, in the season already, and that's a handlock to start. Lena Kreins just sticks her left hand out and stops that frisbee. Brechko to pick up. And goes deep into the end zone already, and that's caught by the defense. Not a lot of movement out of Ketchup for this opening D point. Nice in terms of balance. And another inside, but a pick will stop that game. Discussion between the two players on the field, and Fowler will just catch up, but not the disc will stay with the receiver. Doyle looks for a reset and gets it. Healy with the flick, Huck over everyone. Great read, and that's the first score. Helen Barron gets it for Deski with a, I don't know what that dance is called, but it's quite the celebration for them.
I was logging the stats, so I didn't quite catch that. But it's, it's the vibe that Deski like to bring, a little bit of grooving and moving. Certainly always in the party tournament tent here. Isn't it lovely to see as well? It's a great vibe at Tom's tournament. It's an early season affair, so a lot of the teams, they're certainly taking the games very seriously, playing really hard, as you would expect. But it's got a nice vibe as Tom's tournament, because it's not in the real heavy part of the season where you're looking to definitely only run your systems. You get a little bit more creativity on the pitch, which means maybe you can enjoy a couple more brugsot in the tent in the evenings.
Especially when you're a team like Deski, who are not looking for points in the UCS system, whereas Ketchup Graz, of course, is. But they've already gotten some good points in the last 2 weekends actually, where they have played. So it's their 3rd weekend in a row of playing on that level.
And they're quite a young team. Got some decent athletes coming through the Austrian juniors programs.
True.
So they got lots of legs.
So they're off to the races. Door now working in the handle set. Not a lot of movement, but no pressure at all. And that's a D. Sometimes you don't need pressure to less pressure is sometimes even favorable for the defense. They feel so easy. And that one's just such a nice put out the side. Running out of space there.
Yeah, you can see the play that Wilson was trying to connect with Phi Kwan rather than Jen Kwan. Of course, normally you get Jen playing with Desky, but it's the alternate Kwan sister. Neither better. They're both very, very good at ultimate.
So a bit of a discussion where the disc will come in. Again, a nice centering pass, and Kansmaya is going to shoot it deep on her end.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Odna on the sideline gets the pop pass to Satina, and high release into Dora for the score. Of course, this is the other Dora sister, Sophie.
I'm trying to think of a joke, but I can't. Like two doors?
Door-to-door delivery is what Steph said last year when both of them were in the under-20 women's team.
The high release was also very nice.
That's Dani Zatina's signature throw. I don't even know if she can throw another backhand but that high release, but this one, that's very dangerous.
Absolutely. So, leveled up now. After that little bit, well, both of these teams have managed to turn each other over in their opening possessions. We love the cheeky high releases.
So Breczko on the pull. To Baron. Into the middle, and Helium Baron are just working it between the two of them. And a nice continuation cut on the open side. Back into the middle to Baron. A leading pass on the break side, switching from one side to the other. Inside shot goes to a very open Doyle. Oh, and that's trying to lead that pass through, but it's a bobble for the ski, and Justich to pick up. Pansy around the back to Justich again, and Breczko now on that break side, and she shoots for Kainz. That one's perfect. One-handed grab, drifting to the open side for catch up, and that's a break.
It certainly is, Christina, and I think one of the consistently good things you see on catch-up's offense, whether they're on defense to start the point or it is their O-line true coming out, is the execution of the deep throws. They really know the abilities of their teammates, so that when they see the separation, they know the timing that they need to release, because that could not have been more perfectly placed. Really beautiful, just in stride. The same thing with the huck that went down to Lena Ortner in the previous point for catch-up. I thought, ooh, that's quite racy. That's really far away. And then Ortner just turned on the jets and got there, and, you know, just perfect chest-height clap catch. So it really is a beautiful thing. You can see these players have greatly gelled together, and just an absolute ripper of that backhand.
Such disco. Feel it by Archer in the middle. The brick mark. Wilson. Nice inside shot. Now the middle is very open again. Looking for a continuation and get it as well. And there seems to be a forced middle, exploited very well by the ski. Archer. So back into the middle for McKeenan. Oh, what a nice bid by Archer to keep that disc up on the ground, and the pop pass goes, but just tipped. Falls to the ground.
Yeah, perhaps a bit of conservation of greatness there for Alana Archer.
Satina picking up. Going to Dora. Nice inside shot, but can't catch it there. Leininger drops the disc. And the skier in the red zone again. In a very good position now. And the hammer goes. And that one's perfect for the score. The ski stick with catch-up and even out 2-2.
Well, Claire Pugh is as Claire Pugh does. Pew pew, shots fired. Hammer across. But it's a nice exploitation of the much nicer conditions here today on Saturday, sunny Saturday morning. We're getting a little bit of cloud cover rolling through. Later this afternoon, I do hear the rain will re-emerge. But as I say, it's an occupational hazard playing a tournament at this time of year in Belgium.
I just talked to Boris and he said it was going to be heavy showers for short amounts of time, which I'm okay with.
Short, sharp bursts of unpleasant weather.
That's okay.
But I love the vibe coming out of Deski, as always. That kind of just, celebration of the goal we saw earlier from Cleaner Doyle taking that hammer down. But just the little bouncing you've got, the kind of just... It's really just what you like to see for these teams that come together only once or twice a year. A collection of friends.
So that pull lands beyond the fence? Is it really a fence? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a fence. Okay. Or a railing, I guess.
Railing. Oh, thank you. That's a good word for
a right railing.
And Bretschko's going to go to the middle, find the brick mark.
And you get a nice look at the font on the Disque jerseys, the upside down 2s instead of 7s.
Shot around, a lot of pressure there. Back to Bretschko again. At far side. And into the middle. Fergic. And Schutzwild, but Bretschko just drops it. Stone cold drop for catch-up. That give the ski a short field.
Yeah, that's a bad miss.
Ganhini. It over into the nice grab with the hand, with one hand, and puts it into the end zone. Feet Juan for the break for the ski.
And that puts us back on serve. Little bounce up.
What's it?
Just look at that pure unbridled joy, Christina.
I love that. Could be joyful. That was a really good catch. A perfectly set up cut as well. And we're back on serve.
An execution in stride as well from that shot coming off the paws of Deirdre Kavanagh. So 3-2, Deski starting the game on offense and getting that advantage. So if we do trade out, it will be the Irish contingent of pals. So we do a little bit of a stumble over. Got Emma out on our field cam. And big shout out as always to all of our production crew, the true heroes. They don't get to sit under tents. They're out there no matter what the weather to bring you this coverage.
What a nice pull. Ketchup have to pick it up in their own end zone. Bit of a miscommunication to start the offensive point here. Satina goes high release backhand to Kansmeier. Stumbles as well, but goes up the line. Looks for an option. Goes high release backhand to Ortner. Butti on that far side. Nice inside shot to Dora. Satina again. Points and puts it deep. Kainz Meyer. Looking end zone. Finds Sophie Dor, and that's a score, an easy one at that for Ketchup.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the determination on Daniela Sednina when she had that slip when she was trying to grind free for the kind of just handler reset play. Just she fell over and then just got herself out of the mud and just drove out from the floor up the line to run down that pass that was thrown beautifully into space. Again, just kind of the way catch-up women are playing this season at this current stage, it just really feels like they're not unsure. They know where each other are going to be. They've figured it out.
Yeah,
So
I think especially the handler core have known each other so well for so long, and they do know what each of them is going to do. And now they're taking practice seriously and really working together to make each other better as a team. Of course, they also played in the mixed division 2 years ago, and I do think last year as well. So decided to go single gender. As the Ski are on offense again. Kwan on that far side. It's back around. Sexton. Finds Kwan again. Sexton's free up the line. What a grab. No straight huck continuation, which I would have loved to have seen, but there it goes, the deep shot just in front of the end zone. And just a pop pass through the defensive coverage, but Schutzwild slashing through, but the disc never hit any part of her body that it could have.
well, Deidre Kavanagh just literally picking the disc up off her hip like she's, collecting a child on her way to school kind of thing. Just scooping it off the side.
Such nice flow on that offensive possession.
Well, it was interesting because you expressed your disappointment at the lack of kind of continuation deep, but the decision then was obviously for Ski to just take that one, Cleaner Doyle them, pushing it through. But a lovely find, and Issa Smith's just, let's say, popping it on the kitchen surface for Kavanagh to collect.
Yeah, I thought with that kind of a stride of Sexton and the catch, would want the huck, That's what I would want.
The power position, right?
Yeah,
It can be
exactly.
exploited to great effect because you've got all that momentum, so you can get the extra boost on your throw. Although sometimes you don't want the extra boost. Too much boost. Is there such a thing? Yes.
Definitely. So Vuti is in the center. And Kansmaya with the undercut. Continuation by Otna to the side. Back and around. Nice reset. And there's the defense pushed off, and Kansmaya maybe not attacking that at 100%, but tilling and waiting for it. Going to be exploited by the Ski. Baron to Archer. Balance. Goes inside, and that is a score, and so much contact in the back there. That wasn't very controlled.
Well, fantastic work to hold on to the frisbee.
Definitely. But I don't know what happened there. Leninger just slashed through the back of her.
Well, an accepted foul for sure.
Yeah.
So everyone getting their positions.
Goes back around to Archer now.
Doing the captain and spirit captain role as Archer.
Doing it all.
She does everything.
That's great.
Of course, gold medalist from ECF in the mixed division last year, but throws the turnover.
What a nice pick of defense by Vuti. Dog goes over the top and finds only a defensive player. They're putting it disc into play immediately. Healy to Archer, and Archer's gonna put it over to the other side. Doors there, but not quite enough jump on her.
Yeah, lovely bit of vision. I really enjoyed the wrist snap coming out of that throw from Archer. Pulls back the bow and releases the arrow directly to the end zone. But Dusky getting away with a little bit there. Certainly a nice find, but Dor was in the area, just didn't quite have the right read on it, but did have the catch up to make an effort. Bit of unintentional wordplay for you. But Ifa McKeon just sneaking away to the back corner. You can see her just trotting there. And that's what tempts Archer into the put.
Perfect put as well. If this is off by just a little bit, Dor is up there and gets the disc. That's the defense.
And a big hello to all of our fans watching this one live. Get yourselves into the live chat. Let us know when you're tuning in from. We've got some action from New Zealand for Christine Moore. Give me more. But of course, you have to be a subscriber.
Lustig to Kreins, and Kreins is putting it deep for Felgic or Ortner. Both of them there, and Felgic on the tumbling grab. Gets it for catch-up. Of course, Kreins, a long-standing catch-up player and Austrian national team.
So how long has this catch-up roster been playing together, would you wager, Christina?
Oof, probably longer than I've been playing Frisbee, some of them. So there's
how long was that?
8-9 years. So probably most of them started before me, and then there's some younger people, so everyone that's under 20 now, they started a bit later. But the Ortner sisters and Satina, Bretschko, Keinsmeier and Kreins, Felgic as well, they have been playing together forever, and all of them also on the under 20 and under 17 teams for Austria that have done very well in the past.
So a very youthful squad in general.
Yeah, one could say that.
There's a couple more seasoned veterans on the Irish side of things. So we get a nice little glamour shot of just comparing cleats. I think that's Healy and Gilheeney. Of course, we don't have Anya Gilheeney giving us the delights of her throws. One of the founding members of Dusky. And Leanne O'Neill, of course, as well. Absent this season at Tom's. But it's opened up some roster spots for some Limerick lasses.
Sexton and Barron working in the handler's head. Now connecting with balance. Sexton in the middle again. Nice inside shot. That's very high. And overshooting the receiver. Ketchup get a chance to break again. Fucci to Ortner. Daw to Satina. And she's going to go high release backhand to Bretschko, who's all alone in the end zone. And someone like Bretschko should never leave alone anywhere.
I think you just don't leave any of the catch-up players alone at any point on the field. But that was such a beautiful find. Satina with a high release. Again, it just seems like when catch-up have the disc, they don't have to work that hard. They're not having to super grind, grit. But we are still very early in the game, and we have seen 2 breaks for each side. But that does go to show the kind of just smoothness. We haven't had a single point with more than 3 turnovers total, which was the break that came for Dusky. It says break it 5-3.
You see the break jump. So every time they break, there's for the catch-up women, there's the break jump. For the catch-up open team, there's a break squat. So everyone does it at the same time. It's a nice celebration, linking the 2 teams together. Viquan. Tuling. And Kwon gets it again on the near side, and she's going to put it deep. Players in pursuit. And Heinz pushes the disc away. There's a lot of catch-up people around. It's a turnover. There was body contact, but so far before the throw that you could see Heinz was in a much better position always.
Yeah, there's a big old pack of catch-up players there. Bit of a strange choice.
Taking a chance. Trusting your receiver. That's fine, but definitely agrees with catch-up. Brechko to Heinz. Inside to Felgic, and Felgic is going to put it deep to the other side. Odna in pursuit. Kwon is there as well, and Kwon has got the better position and the better read. Catches the disc immediately and overshoots.
She giveth, she taketh away. She giveth, she taketh away.
That one again. Such a nice read for Pansy. Felgic in front of the end zone. Back on to Justich. Brechko now. And Pansy right on the doorstep. Into the middle. And Odna with the high grab. That's Maya Odna, of course, for the catch-up score.
Well, that was really just enjoyable offense to watch. Slightly heart-in-mouth moment on that final catch for Odna, going up with one hand rather than two, but she gets that extra little centimetre of reach by doing so because of the offset hips. But perhaps backing away from the charging defenders, trying to sneak in there and cause some issues. So 3 on the trot for catch-up women. So we get ever closer to the half-time here. First team to score 8 points or signal half, or within just under 4 minutes. We'll have a nice jingle signalling the timed half here.
This ball lands on the ground. And Gohini into the middle. Archer on the isolation cut. He's looking for a continuation though. Those are close off, and Healy gets it again. Throws it directly to Satina, and Satina does not connect with Dor.
Yeah, that was a very surprising miss for Johanna Dor. I think no one was more surprised than she was. And of course, the catch-up sidelines shouting foot block, hand block, foot block, hand block. It's even in the live chat, we've had it.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment about that. But the ski are on the run. Gohini and run through D by Odna. I don't think she was the intended or the defensive player in charge, but still gets it.
Ja, es ist die 3-Meter-Linie. Geht's trotzdem bitte von der Sideline weg.
Satina into space, puts it up, and that one's caught by the wind, but Kranzmeier gets it. And around to Zafida for the score. That's 4 in a row for catch-up. Coming from 5-3 to 5-6. Is that right?
It was 5-4, 5-5, 5-6, 5-7. So they were. Oh no, yeah, 5-3. All the way from 5-3, they've done 4 in a row.
Getting my math right.
And I have to say, it's been quite the performance for Sophie Dor so far. That's 3 goals. So just under half of them. And yeah, big shout out to Jess Chambers former Desky player, currently residing in New Zealand also. As we see a nice little bit of the line painting action. Got churned up these fields quite considerably yesterday with all that wind and rain.
Indeed. Could barely see it anymore, which players thought that they wouldn't have to respect it anymore, but we're back with a new white line.
Vision dreams of passion.
Oh yeah. Kwon to Ling. Nice inside shot. And Kwon gets it in again on that near side. Falling down. It's Fergic marking, and that's a layout from Brečko. What a great D.
I've talked about the vibes coming out of Desky, but actually, like, I am also really enjoying the vibe coming out of Catch Up. They're very supportive of each other. They've kind of got a bit more of a closed vibe, very serious, but that's because they are, of course, properly going for it this EUCS season.
Kynes on that far side to Fergic. There's one deep poach that they're trying to exploit here. I catch up Fergic. To Brečko, overshooting Brečko, and Kwon is there to make sure no one does some crazy layout or something. Ling. High disc. Caught well. And up the line for Kwon. Looking for an option, finds the around throw to Ling. No, nice switch of attacking side, and Ling is in the middle again. Kwon when faking out Fergic so well. Style. Back into the middle. Nice low grab for Ling. Really wants that inside, but Justic is not backing down. Kwon over head to Doyle, and that's a score for Desky. The first one in 5 points. They get it on the board.
Yeah, Kwon really doing a great job of exploiting the face marking in the end zone. Didn't really, not face marking, the opposite of face marking. The non-faced mark in the end zone that wasn't really looking at the players the matchup was supposed to be, and therefore allowing that kind of, just over the top. So we'll see a timeout being taken. We'll take a break here in the booth too. Don't go anywhere.
That's the end of our hot. That's the end. Yeah. 1, 2, 3,
So we were just listening into that Desky huddle. Making some adjustments.
We've got some support as well from Jess Chambers doing off the pole napple. Presumably a set play. And a big shout out as well to Mary Sexton presumably a relation of the Sexton on the pitch. That's the lovely number 4, Emma Sexton.
One could assume that.
Maybe. I mean, to be fair, there are certain surnames in certain localities that are very popular. But Sexton is quite an unusual one. So hi Mary, glad to have you alongside with us. And all of you, if you're enjoying this game, there's only one current thumbs up. Feel free to hit that like button.
Voti, Satina, they're working through what appears to be a zone or poach look for the ski. Krantz and Satina working not really for yards, but just to move the disc as much as possible. Back to Voti and Satina getting every other here. So what happens sometimes is that you don't look deep anymore, and there you go. Fergic was open for quite some time, and now they're finally getting a tour, now making yards. Voti to Satina, over to Dor. Lina Ottner back to Dor, and that's such a nice movement there, initiated by Ottner this time. And that's a great catch, and that's not caught though. I was going to say great catch, but nope.
Claire Pugh breaking the bank.
A bit too casual for Fergic. Gohini picking up. Onto the middle. And now they're on the far side of the field. You're looking for options, but there's not a lot of cuts. As they hit Archer, who's also not cutting, but standing. But, I mean, if she's open, just cut and hit that.
If you don't need to run, why would you? That's my thought.
Sexton. In the middle looking for an option. Found Gilhini. Gilhini's going to put it deep, and that has an awkward curve out the side for the ski. And catch up, get their offensive possession back. Satina over the cup. Swing around to Kynes and Lina Ottner. It's right there to collect. Voti quite and right there, and Archer runs through. What an amazing play.
Yeah, for a minute I thought she wasn't even going to have a go at it, but Gilhini with the hammer.
And that's bookends for Archer. I thought it was for Sexton, but probably was intended for Archer all along. And that's a break for the ski, making it 7-7. Do you know what that means?
Galaxy Point. If you don't know what Galaxy Point is, because it's a bit of weird frisbee jargon, so half time in these games, so they're played to a full points cap of 15 as the maximum scoreline, but when the first opponent reaches 8 points on the board, you take half. So the start off on one team will obviously have the advantage of starting on offense. So the reason you have the half time is so that you can level things out a little bit. So the other team gets an opportunity to start the second half on offense. But we also do have timed halves here. So this middle section of the game is dragging on a little bit. I remember looking at the time clock about 20 some minutes in and thinking, oh, this game is going quite rapidly. The offense is flowing. Points are racking up, but we have just over 20 minutes left of regulation play, and we're at Galaxy Point 7 apiece. Next point will take half, and we'll see Catch Up get that bonus offense point to start the second stage of the game.
They got offense here as well, so if they can punch that in, it counts for double in a way. Satina. To Justic. And Brechko is going to put it deep right away. Very open Kleinsmeyer. And that's a score for Catch Up. Easy as they come. Brechko, two very to a very open Katzmeier.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like when your score is that kind of wide open and that easy, it should be almost worth 2. But clearly a bit of miscommunication on the defense. I think that was a zone that was coming out for Ski. Just not quite enough sideline on this side. In fact, I think most of the Ski players are hanging out on the far side of the field when they're not playing. Which, you know, makes sense. You're on a live stream. You want to get yourself on that.
There's also this tendency of one team picking a sideline, and then that's their sideline, and then the other team takes the other, and there's probably 1 or 2 players maybe from the opposite team on the same sideline, but players tend to not mix that much.
It's very territorial behaviour. I'm not really here for it. It's all about spreading your sidelines and being active, assisting your teammates. It's a real pleasure if you're a D-line person, if you enjoy playing defence, when you get to the stage in your playing career. If you've not had it, then it becomes a new thing. It's a real vibe. When you start playing with teammates that have a really active sideline and they communicate with you and they tell you things and they'll tell you when the disc moves, when the angle changes. They're like the eyes in the back of your head, the wings beneath your wings, wind beneath your wings even. And it makes playing defence so much easier.
Indeed, just having more information than you can see really helps.
Yeah, because I find my matchups don't really like it when you try and get information by taste.
Zatina on the break, and you're out on the zone again. Da, Vutti, Keinsmeier, and Zatina working in the handler space. Keinsmeier on that far side looks for a continuation. Finds leaning in the middle. Goes for the super dump. And Vutti and Zatina sharing the disc between the two. Nice find on the side, and again Vutti. I would really love to see them swing it from one side to the other quicker, but everyone seems to be on this near side of the pitch. Oh, now they find Keinsmeier and Lena Ottner in the middle. Zatina to Keinsmeier.
I am really loving the use of this zone, though. It is slowing the heck out of this catch-up offense.
It does seem like they have this sense of urgency, and they have to pass the disc quickly, even though they don't really have to. But that's the kind of pressure a zone can put on you.
And look at these negative yards. They were about 3/4 down the pitch, and now they're all the way back to nearly a third.
It was super close here by Baron. Has float over the top to Keinsmeier.
See, those are the sorts of passes they should be throwing between their handlers, but that's not one as Phi Quan snags the catch block.
Baron up the line. Quan all alone. And that's a nice idea, but a foul is called for Wilson.
Yeah, I think she had good position underneath that.
Agreed.
Only she knows if she had it in her hands, but we'll have another look. Oh yeah, really lovely position. Not sure that one. I can't quite tell on the contrast on our replay screen, Christina, if that was actually in her paws or not.
So for me, I don't know if she had it in her hands, but it did seem like Zatina was paddling back and trying to get into a position where Wilson already was. When they jumped, there was contact initiated. So I would think that Zatina, because she was further on that far side, had to back paddle to get into position, which I would agree with a foul and maybe not. But I don't know whether a strip or a foul was called.
Yeah, because they don't have separate hand signals, annoyingly. Either way, a slightly risky biscuit, for sure.
Indeed. You just saw it again. You can see how both Kainsamaya and Satina are moving back.
Well, the discussion is drawing on, so I think we might see this one just come back, which would be a fair resolution. They're having a chat about it. But of course, the name of the game is to just go back to what you can agree on. So it's going to be a contested foul is the outcome on the field. So we get another look.
I think that's fair to contest.
So back we go into the hands of Helen Barron. But it wasn't the nicest throw.
No, it's with these throws. It's sometimes like, okay, there's gonna be body contact. You give everyone so much time to run under. But we're back in play. Barron goes all the way to the other side of the field. The leading pass caught with ease. Pugh goes back to Kwan. Pugh again. And the around break to Barron. That's a score for the Ski. A break after half. Putting 2 snowmen on the board.
A Stephism.
Yep.
But that, folks, is why you give Claire Pugh the disc at every opportunity that you can. Of course, the Ski have a lot of absolute class throwers, but Claire Pugh brings a lot of experience, knowledge, wisdom, and just general great vibes. Really nice human to be around.
Especially in these situations, after a call and a lengthy discussion, to go back and do it again, that's sometimes really challenging, especially mentally.
So, all levelled up at 8s. The Ski don't quite have their advantage back in their hands from starting the game. On offence, they are trading down, so catch up, looking to try and keep their advantage that they've ground through, of course, that run of 4 points on the trot at the end of the first half, with just under 15 minutes to go before the time expires.
Justic in the middle. Back to Breczko. Nice find in the middle. Panzi. And then on that far side is Kreins. They really, this line for Ketchup really doing well of exploiting the holes in the middle of the field, not moving the disc as much, but I do think that's good in that particular zone. And Breczko, you know, she's always looking for the huck, but goes inside instead. That looked like a wind-up.
Yep. That little, just almost a spasmodic reaction in her shoulder. You can see she really wants it.
Again, Breczko and Kreins working it through the middle. Such good work of that zone. They're always so open.
Although we are starting to see the wind conditions change. What a recatch that was, Mortner.
Nice by Ortner. Keeping composure.
But the wind, now is sort of going near side to far side on our field view. So it's almost like a crosswind pitch developing.
You can see those 2 different lines for Ketchup, an upwind and a downwind, maybe?
Well, you put all your lefties on one side. It's a side wind. If any left-handed players you're going to put on one line to make them have the easier throws against the wind.
And that one, a score from Kreins to Breczko. Very fitting for the way this point turned out.
Yeah, that talking about easy throws.
Definitely was one of them.
Nice cheeky high release. And just walking their way through that zone eventually, really, the catch-up.
Where I talked about this, the sense of urgency in scoring for the one line. This abundance of players on the field. It didn't feel like that really. They knew they would always get the backhand off with ease.
Yeah, well, it's difficult to apply consistent, intense pressure with a zone unless you change the zone frequently and kind of adapt it, amend it. You see BFD Shout do that a lot. sort of the way they adapt their zone. They always kind of keep it changing. So, okay, well, the offense has figured out this way to get their way through, so actually we're going to do now this response. It does really help when you have that presence of a coach that's not playing. And, of course, Shout do tend to have at least 2 of their Italian coaches alongside them. Whereas I don't see any coaching action from Catch-Up, self-management style.
Yeah, kind of. Sandra Neely is usually the brains behind the operation.
Oh, but today there's no sideline, no person with a clipboard, so we see Wilson run that down.
And what a great catch there in the end zone. Wilson immediately finding Long for the score.
Yeah, great backup from Silong, just, you know, doing what was needed, backing Hannah Wilson to run that one down. Not snail's pace for the Pelt woman.
Definitely not. So, Neely actually usually playing, now injured, but also couldn't be here this weekend.
Gotcha. Well, I tell you what, Christina, my nose is being driven absolutely wild. You're very lucky, Ultimate fans, that you don't have smell-o-vision, because there is lunch being cooked up behind us here at Tom's Tourney, and it's making me salivate almost as much as some of these plays are. But love that little clamour celebration. Oh my goodness. Absolute hats off work to our roving cam in association with Silong.
Such a great smile. But it just makes you feel very happy to score. Usually. Great catch by Archer. Catching the ball on the sideline.
Would have been funny if she just kept it. No, my frisbee now. None for you.
Rechko putting the disc into play. Does look like a poachy defense by Diski again. Changing up that zone as you asked for.
Oh, you know, we were talking about coaches, Christina. It's like a little bit of magic. Ian French has now entered the live chat. Coach extraordinaire, of course, of the women's Irish national team. They got that gold medal back in 2019.
Isn't he coaching someone else this season?
I think so. But yeah, it's like you talk about coaches and lo he appeareth. Like Beetlejuice or some such, but in a good way.
Kainz with the high grab. Goes it back to Brechko. Those two are really such a good connection on them. Lustig. Back to Schutzwild. Goes up to line. It's not C Lustig, unfortunately. That would have been a good gainer. But they're switching field position. Very good to Brechko. They're making negative yards, but they really don't care. Planning another attack into that zone. Kainz and Brechko again. Very good. Faking vividly. And now they're moving to this near side of the field. Schutzwild. Lustig and Hodner so close to the sideline, but keeps her feet in bounds. I'm not sure she was aware of that. Very good to Brechko. It's Schutzwild. Brechko again, now really moving it up. Kainz to Lustig. And I can see a very open Otna. But they opt to just throw it between the handlers and not look deeper. Now she's sit on the side. And the adjustment of that zone works out really well for the ski, making Ketchup throw so many passes.
Well, they're also quite fond of being quite close together, it seems, this catch-up side. They don't really sort of pin people, spreading them laterally. You see nearly getting pinned there.
Ooh, what a nice grab. Schutzwild hangs onto the disc in a weird angle, but she does. Let's go. Travel called on Schutzwild. So they're moving back, but the disc is back in play already. Yes, they picking up crates. Heinz now back on that sideline. Schutzwild in the middle. Oh, nice high release backhand pop. Nearly saw that that flick go as well. Heinz somehow keeps the disc in her hands as well. And Brechka on the side now. They're really, you were right, they're really in not a lot of space there. Our catch-up.
Whereas the holes, they want to try and spread this sort of set of three, because you've got two players sort of marking closely around the disc. You've got Claire Gilheeney, of course, trying to cause mischief in that middle section, but there's this sort of trio almost, but it flexes intelligently, I say, with Gilheeney just trying to create noise and issues in that central section.
Would have loved to know how many passes Ketchup have ramped up by now.
Oh, it's got to be in the high 80s, I'm sure.
Definitely. Pachko putting herself in the mix again. And they're on the doorstep, and she jumps it in for the score. That works out, and for Ketchup, they lead 10-9.
Yeah, 48-49 connection. Kainz and Brechko just being patient, taking the moments, because there were lots and lots of passes, but very few of them looked remotely sketchy. A couple of high ones, but well handled, and that works out just fine. So Catch-Up continue to be the team to catch up with in this match after ripping things open in the first half. But Deski have just been slowly pecking and grinding like a little crow, just seeing the gem and just sniping the brakes as they get the opportunity. But they've been playing a couple of power lines, I think have worked out quite well for them. Personnel management, of course, when you do have a collection of players where the level of connection is variable, should we say, because some of them know each other really quite well, some of them perhaps less so, but smart team management coming out of Deski, which is part of seeing them get into this stage in the power pools, because all four teams in the power pool will advance to quarterfinals. It's just all about positioning what the matchups will be.
Archer to McKeon. And the disc goes up into the end zone. What a grab! Not so sure. She's still on the ground, but that is called out of bounds.
Well, even if it was inbounds, I think she did sort of lose control of the frisbee.
Oh, I thought she put it on the ground after. So she...
Because there's the clap catch and then the ground strip. That hand was
she had it in her hand. But doesn't matter, they get it back anyway. And the slice through, and that's a score for Archer. Or is it?
Well, the Deski teammates seem to say yes, and Archer's the only person who truly knows, because it was her hands doing the catching.
I found with those catches, usually you know whether it was up or down. So it's going to be a bit of a longer discussion here again.
We have had a couple of long discussions, haven't we, in this match?
Indeed, especially on that far end zone. It's called a point. I'm pretty sure Archer would also say if it wasn't a catch, but it's just a very nifty play out of the ski.
So 10-10, and we're about to get the jingle to finish us off for time here. So I reckon it's going to be a game to 12 irrespective.
Indeed. That's probably right. So they're already asking whether the jingle was before or after the point. We don't know. But
Has the jingle played? I haven't
don't
played
think
it yet. It's about to.
either.
We have had 60 minutes on our time clock, but I haven't heard the wonderful sounds of Fleetwood Mac yet. We're close, but not quite there. Oh, there we go. It's starting. I can hear the jingle, Christina.
So this is time now. So play another point, and then that's it.
Or I might have been hearing things. We'll see.
So Justich puts it to Pansy. Back to Justich again. Very much back near their own end zone. Satina and Brečko. Oh, they looks like a power line for Ketchup, because Satina and Brečko usually are not on the same line. Nice move up to Pansy, and Ortner with the grab. What a nice layout from her. Justich and Pansy in the middle, which is Satina.
I'll tell you what, Catch-Up's offences look really smooth and just really easy and not flustered at all. But I have to say there have been some moments in this point that have been contrary to that opinion.
Yep. Agreed.
The changing of the lines, the power lines, maybe a bit too much power. It's a bit out of control at points.
Well, if you think so, I kind of agree. We'll see, though, because teams have to learn to handle that kind of power and dial it down if needed.
We get no jingle, but they've just announced over the tannoy, Christina, the time is officially over, so it will be a game to 12.
Regardless of the outcome, we'll see if Ketchup can keep the disc moving, taking their time with it.
Well, this would be a huge break for Diski.
Constantina. Picking into Constantina's very open in there. Brečko moves it just beyond the cup. High grab for Justich, and she goes up with the hand, but doesn't secure it, although she would have had so much time to do so.
Yeah, she just kind of swiped at it a little bit shy. It was quite blustery at that moment, perhaps the wind just pushing it a tiny bit up.
Low grab. Caught well by Pugh. And Pugh's going to put it deep into the end zone. Misread by Brečko, but also by Archer.
It wasn't the nicest throw, especially with the sort of wind, this side wind, near side to far side on the pitch. You could see the wobble on that disc as it left Pugh's arm.
They're on the end zone line again. Have to work it down all the way. And they're off to the races. Fergic and Kainz. Ooh, and that's a lot of body contact. Fergic really is just standing and keeping her position. Stich. Satina. Lustig again. Probably didn't think that disc would get into her hands that quickly again, but it is back with her Kainz and Pansy. Brečko. To Satina and Brečko again. Nice shot up the field. And now they're flowing through the middle. Lustig to Fergic. Brečko. Fergic looking for the deep, but not putting it this time. Lustig to Brečko. To Satina and Fergic. Always the four of them moving it along. Let's pop into the middle, moving the disc just in front of the end zone now. And they go back again. Even back further, but just changing the angle of attack. Pansy on that far side. Brečko. Satina, Fergic, Lustig, Brečko. Oh, Satina. And she's on. There's so many disky players around her.
Risky disky. Trying to just put on a fortress of zone.
So Kainz and Satina working it, and that's a pop into for Brečko. Score for Ketchup, and they are in a universe point situation, should there be one.
Well, Disky have got to put theirs in first, but we are on our way to a universe finish. So that was, as you say, a slightly mixed up line for Ketchup, the team from Graz. But a very strange thing to do at late stages in the game, and it didn't really work out particularly well.
No, I agree.
It took them a long time to score that one. We get another look at that beautiful layout from Ortner. That's going to end up on a highlight reel faux show.
And then the end of that point, Kainz to Brečko.
Also, hats off to the amazing camera work. Just making Ortner look extra cool.
Agreed.
So
So we see some of the same personnel out there. Maja Ortner, Nina Pansy, Kainz, Satina, and Brečko are still out on the field, with Lina Ortner and Kainz-Meyer to join them.
we've got some decent personnel as well from Disky.
Oh, I bet.
You've got Healy, you've got Smith, Wilson, Sexton, Gilheeney, Barron, and of course Cleaner Door. But that's a huge run through block, Christina.
Kainz-Meyer in pursuit and getting it out, and then another one through block. Gilheeney gets the better of Kainz. Wilson.
She's had such a quiet game, but Gilheeney does it again.
And she is in front of the end zone. Looking for an option, goes Hammer, and that's a score. We are going to universe.
The players walking away from our booth on the sideline, echoing universe. Of course, if you're not used to it being called universe point, it's also sudden death. Because one of the beautiful things about Ultimate Frisbee as a sport is that you have to score that last point to win the game, unless really, truly strange things occur. And tournament directors say, enough is enough. Sorry, no.
Never seen that before, but you do.
I played in a game a couple of weeks ago, Christina. The Wind Farm over in Nottingham, very aptly named tournament venue. And we ended up having to use the absolute cap rules of you just went, no, that's it, you're done.
Cool.
No more time for you to play Frisbee.
Cool. So we see some of the same people out again. Sexton, Gilheeney, Wilson, and then also Archer, Kwan, and Pugh are out with them. for that defensive power line for the ski. We're starting that universe point off with a rolling pull. Satina to Breczko. And they're on the zone, in the zone again. Dahl has had a quiet second half, but she's back again. Pansy Breczko. Fergic to Keinsmeyer and overshot. Keinsmeyer tries to lay out and get it, but that disc is always gone.
Well, she was pretty close. Just didn't quite catch the right glimpse of it. Hand too low. Not quite as good as Ortner's one, unfortunately, but it was a much more direct angle.
Galhini with the big put into space. Satina is in a perfect position with the read, and three catch-up players around. Nice try, but just a bit too risky for a universe point.
Yeah, going for the spice. I mean, I like the option of Gilherney to Pugh, but there was a lot of defence in that end zone when that disc even went up, let alone when it floated back down to earth.
Still, they're in the end zone working it. Keinsmeyer on the sideline as well. And that's that zone just working out fine for them. Lustig. And da. Fergic in the middle. Oh, Breczko actually. Pansy to Satina. Da. Again to Pansy. Lustig to Satina. And Breczko over the side to Pansy. Big fakes out of her. But no continuation. That works for her. And that's the deep shot. Keinsmeyer's there. Fergic as well. And that's the score for catch-up. Keinsmeyer gets the better of the ski defender, Pugh.
Yeah, really great catch-up from Pugh to try and prevent that score, but did not have that position at the crucial moment, and that was a really lovely take. And what a beautiful shot as well from Breczko. Just absolutely opens up a can of whoop-ass with that big backhand. The torsion she gets. You can see again this track down from Pugh. Nice. Sort of tries to put her body in the right way, but that turn and the shape of the movement from Marlene Keinsmeyer just won the day.
Indeed, and smiles all over from Ketchup, taking that universe point win, getting some of that extra boost in power poles. Thank you very much for tuning in. It was a pleasure, but there's more action to come. Next game is going to be in the open division, Free Speed from Switzerland against Bora from Germany. So don't go anywhere. Thank you very much for tuning in. For Hannah Pendlebury, I've been Christina Omaya, and I will see you again soon.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, Ultimate.
Alti.tv